Because of Winn-Dixie, written by Kate DiCamillo, as retold and illustrated by Mackenzie Elder. Hi, my name is Indy Opal, but everybody just calls me Opal. I'm going to tell you the story of how I got my dog and how he helped me make new friends after I moved to a new town. My dad, the preacher, sent me to the local Winn-Dixie to get a few groceries. I heard some noises in one of the aisles and went to see what it was. I found a dog in the store. I knew the owner was going to send him away, so I told him he was my dog. I told the owner that the dog's name was Winn-Dixie. I called him and he came to me. We left the store together as quickly as we could. I was not sure what I was doing, but I knew this dog was special. The next day, I went to the library to get a few books. My new furry friend Winn-Dixie had to wait outside because dogs were not allowed. When the librarian, Miss Franny Block, saw Winn-Dixie through the window, she thought he was a bear. She told me a scary story about a bear that came into the library and took a book. I told her that he wasn't a bear and that he was just my dog. Miss Franny Block said I could bring Winn-Dixie into the library. This made me and Winn-Dixie very happy. The story Miss Franny told me made me think I should probably get Winn-Dixie a leash. I knew I needed to get him one soon. After our trip to the library, I decided to go to the pet store to get Winn-Dixie a leash. Winn-Dixie could not go into the pet store because dogs were not allowed in the store. I found a really nice leash and collar, but I could not afford it. I asked the man at the counter if I could get a job at the store to pay for the leash. He said I could, but that I could not bring Winn-Dixie into the store because his bird hated dogs. I told him that his bird would love Winn-Dixie. Sure enough, as soon as Winn-Dixie came inside the pet store, the bird flew over and landed on Winn-Dixie's head. The man at the pet store gave me the job because of Winn-Dixie. I left the store and got on my bike to go home. As I was riding home on my bike, Winn-Dixie turned down a street that did not lead to our house. I turned to follow him down the street and saw two boys following us. I recognized them as the Dewberry Boys. They told me that Winn-Dixie was going toward the witch's house. Winn-Dixie jumped the fence and ran straight into the witch's yard. I followed him. The witch was sitting in her chair petting Winn-Dixie. She was eating sandwiches. I could tell that she had shared one with Winn-Dixie. The witch told me that her name was Gloria Dump. She offered me a peanut butter sandwich and a glass of lemonade. I told her about my day at the pet store and that some boys thought she was a witch. She just laughed. Winn-Dixie and I stayed a while to talk to her, but then we had to get home. We took off down the street. As we traveled down the street, I realized that Winn-Dixie and I had made some new friends. On my first day at the pet store, I had an interesting experience. As I walked up to the store, I saw all the animals around Otis. He was playing a guitar. He was in a trance and did not hear me. After he realized I was there, he stopped playing his guitar. All the animals scattered. Otis and I tried to put the animals back in the cages, but it was useless. I told Otis to play his guitar again. The animals stopped and we were able to put them back in their cages. Otis told me that all the animals liked listening to him play his guitar. He also told me that he loves playing his guitar so much that he got in trouble one time while he was doing it. I knew this story was a story I would have to tell my new friend Gloria Dump. After my first day at the pet store, I went to the library to see Miss Franny. Miss Franny told me and a girl named Amanda Wilkinson a story about her great-grandfather, who fought in a really important war. When he came home from the war, there was nothing for him. He decided to make a special candy. It made people sad. My new friend Amanda and I both had a piece of candy. It made us sad. I checked out a book for my friend Gloria Dump and asked for an extra piece of candy to share with her. Winn-Dixie and I made our way to Gloria's house. On my way to Gloria Dump's house, I saw a girl from church named Sweetie Pie Thomas. She started talking to me about her party for her birthday. She then told me that she had to go because her mom didn't want her to go too far. I wondered what it was like to have a mom. My mother left me and the preacher when I was just 3 years old. I guess Mom and the preacher had different plans. When I got to Gloria Dump's house, we read the first chapter of the book I got at the library. When we finished it, I told Gloria about having a party for all of the friends I've made since I came to my new home. I gave her the piece of candy from Miss Franny, and we talked about the party. She told me I had to invite the Dewberry boys. I really did not like that idea, but I said okay. It was the day of the party. Once we finished setting up, people started showing up. I was really nervous. First, Miss Franny showed up, and the group got bigger and bigger from there. I was so happy because I was surrounded by so many friends, all friends that I had met because of Winn-Dixie. We were talking and having a good time when it started raining on us. It wasn't just a little rain shower, it was a thunderstorm. We ran inside the house as fast as we could. Once we all got in, the Dewberry boys showed up. I realized Winn-Dixie was not with us. The preacher and I went back out into the rain to find Winn-Dixie. During our search for Winn-Dixie, the preacher and I had a chance to talk about my mother. I finally got to ask him some of the questions that had been on my mind. We searched and searched. The preacher finally said it was time to head back. I didn't want to go without Winn-Dixie. Once we got back, I saw Winn-Dixie under Gloria's chair. She said that he had been underneath the bed during the storm. After seeing Winn-Dixie, I walked outside to thank my mom wherever she was. One of the Dewberry boys came outside and told me we were going to sing songs. We raced inside. Everyone started singing. As we sang, I thought about all of the great things that had happened since we moved to our new home. I had new friends, and the preacher and I were closer than ever, and it was all because of Winn-Dixie. About the author. Mackenzie Elder is 13 years old. She has a little sister and a dog. She lives in Elgin, Texas. She doesn't have a favorite food, but her favorite color is green.